Module 7, Statistics. We're going to start off with quite a few definitions and ideas before we get too far into this module. Statistics is the art and the science of gathering, analyzing, and making predictions from numerical information obtained in an experiment. And that numerical information is referred to as data. When performing a survey or an experiment, the population is all of the items or people of interest. For example, if you're conducting a survey on approval ratings for Congress or the President, the population might be all U.S. voters or all U.S. citizens or all U.S. adults, depending on the setup of the experiment, what you're trying to measure. However, we all know that it is unrealistic to try to contact every citizen to ask how they feel about Congress. So we use a subset of the population when conducting the survey or the experiment. We call that subset of the population a sample. Statistics is divided into two main branches. We have descriptive statistics, which is concerned with the collection, organization, and analysis of data. We also have inferential statistics that is concerned with making generalizations or predictions from the data collected. In the approval rating survey above, descriptive statistics would be concerned with how the survey was conducted, setting up the survey, collecting the data, creating charts and tables, and so forth. Inferential statistics would be concerned with generalizing what the collected data means, how well it correlates to the actual opinion. Confidence interval is something you'll hear about. That would be the inferential statistics side. Alright, when we're trying to select this sample from the population, it is the goal to have an unbiased sample, meaning that the sample is actually a small replica of the entire population. The methods we use to get a sample are called sampling techniques, and we'll discuss a few of those. One technique is the random sample. If a sample is drawn in such a way that each time an item is selected, each item in the population has an equal chance of being drawn, the sample is said to be a random sample. Our next sampling technique is systematic sampling. This is when a sample is obtained by selecting every nth item on a list or a production line, like pulling every 50th item off a production line, something like that. A cluster sample, or an area sample, is frequently based on geography. We either divide the population into sections, or we use predefined divisions, such as zip code, and either select one complete cluster to be the sample, or we'll randomly pick from each of the sections to form the new sample. Stratified sampling is when the population is divided into parts, which we call strata, for the purpose of drawing a sample. Strata could be age, gender, socioeconomic status, those are various strata. A convenient sample uses data that are easily or readily obtained. However, what is convenient is often biased. So let's look at some examples and see if we can figure out what sampling technique was used. All registered vehicles in the state of Georgia are classified according to their type of vehicle: subcompact, compact, midsize, full-size, SUV, and truck. A random sample of vehicles from each category is selected. This is going to be strata because we're dividing the vehicles into a classification. This shows the There can be a fine line between cluster and strata, I think, but this one is, I would consider this to be strata rather than cluster. Every 10th iPod coming off an assembly line is checked for defects. This is definitely systematic. Every nth item is polled or experimented upon. 12 Kentucky counties are randomly selected, and a sample is randomly selected from each county. That would be cluster. We're geography based on that. A door prize is given away at a seminar by placing tickets in a bin, shaking it up, and having someone blindly draw a ticket. This would be random because every ticket drawn has an equal chance of being drawn. The first 25 adults leaving a grocery store are asked how much money they spend each week on entertainment. This is a convenience sample. Obviously not a lot of thought went into selecting these adults.